In the final hours before dawn, almost every animal across the African savanna is resting now. But somewhere out in the open grassland, a mother is still moving.
In her mouth, a small cub hangs gently by the scruff of his neck.
The mother is doing everything she can to save this cub. Because out here, one small mistake can cost the cub his life. And for the next 7 to 8 nights, this mother will keep moving.
Not for herself, for them.
Back inside the den, a second cub is still waiting. Too small to walk properly on his own. Too young to follow his mother across this ground alone. He is waiting for a sound he recognizes, for a scent he knows.
The mother has been walking for over an hour. She reaches a patch of tall, dry grass,
Low enough to hide something small. She lowers the cub gently onto the ground. Stays beside him for a moment. Checks the grass around them. Checks the darkness beyond. Nothing moves. She licks the cub once across the top of his head, then turns and walks back the way she came. And this is the moment the cub is in the most danger. Alone. No mother beside him, no pride around him, no one. Just a small cub pressed into dry grass, waiting. The mother has no choice, because if she does not move her cubs now, hunger and thirst will put their lives at risk. For the past several days, she stayed inside the den, hoping the drought would break. Hoping prey would return, hoping the nearby waterhole would somehow refill. None of them happened. The waterhole is almost gone now. What little remains is barely worth calling water. The herds moved on weeks ago. The pride moved with them. She could not.
The cubs were too small then, so she stayed and waited.
Now, the waiting is over. Because staying any longer means only one thing. She reaches the den. The second cub is safe. She lifts him into her mouth and turns back toward the grass where his brother is waiting.
The journey has only just begun. The mother needs to reach a place where there is still grass.
Still fresh water, where the herds still graze, where the pride has already gone. Alone, a mother can cover up to 20 to 30 kilometers in a single night. But with cubs this small, she can only manage 5 kilometers. The nearest reliable water may still be 50 kilometers away. 7 to 8 nights of this same journey, every single night. From the final hours before dawn until the sun begins to rise. Then she will stop, rest through the heat, and begin again the next night.
The sun rises over the savanna, and the mother stops, not because she wants to.
Because she has no choice. In drought conditions, traveling in daytime heat with cubs this small is not difficult.
It is impossible. The temperature across these open plains climbs quickly after sunrise. The ground holds the heat from the night before. There is almost no shade here. The drought took most of that too. What trees remain stand bare and thin. Their branches cast shadows too small to matter. The mother finds what little cover exists. A low, rocky outcrop rising slightly above the dry ground. Not perfect, but enough. She settles beside her cubs.
The two cubs immediately move toward her, searching, nursing, pressing close.
She lets them feed, but her body is already struggling to give them what they need.
A nursing mother needs 10 to 15 liters of water every single day.
She has not found proper water in days.
Milk production does not stop immediately when a mother is dehydrated, but it begins to decline. The cubs feed longer than usual, pulling harder than before, getting less than they used to. They do not understand why. They only know they are still hungry when they pull away.
Out here, in the open, the mother watches everything. Vultures circle slowly in the far distance. Something has already died out there. Closer, a pair of hyenas move through the dry grass half a kilometer away. The mother watches them without moving. The hyenas slow. They have noticed her. For a moment, nothing moves. Then the hyenas continue walking in a different direction. As long as she is beside her cubs, the danger stays at a distance. A leopard will not risk coming close to a lioness. A small pack of wild dogs will keep their distance. Even one or two hyenas will turn away rather than challenge her directly.
The real danger begins when the mother has to leave, when the cubs are alone in the grass.
Waiting for her to return. Any predator patient enough to search the grass could find them first. The mother does not sleep through the day, not properly.
Her eyes close for a few minutes, then open again, scanning, listening. The hours pass slowly beneath the heat. The cubs sleep pressed against her stomach, completely unaware of the vultures, completely unaware of the hyenas that passed an hour ago. Completely unaware that their mother's presence alone is keeping danger away. As the afternoon turns toward evening, the heat begins to fade. The shadows grow longer. The mother lifts her head, looks out across the dry plain ahead. Somewhere out there, 5 more kilometers wait for her tonight. One cub at a time, 1 hour forward, 1 hour back. On a body that has not eaten properly in days. On a body desperate for water. Yet she will keep moving, because stopping is no longer an option. It stopped being an option the day the waterhole finally ran dry.
Night is coming, and the mother must move again.
Darkness across the open plain. Silence, except for the wind moving through dry grass. The mother rises slowly. The cubs stir beside her immediately. She licks them both once, then lifts the first cub carefully into her mouth.
And begins walking. This is the second night. Her body already knows the difference. The first night carried urgency, her decision finally made after days of waiting. Tonight carries something heavier. The knowledge that this journey has barely begun. After setting the first cub down in a safe patch of grass and walking back for the second, the mother continues forward into the darkness. But tonight, something is different. The ground beneath her is changing. The flat, cracked earth gives way to something lower, a shallow channel running through the plain. Wide, dry. Its banks carved by water that disappeared long ago, a dry riverbed. The mother does not hesitate. She moves down into it. This is not random. Lions often follow dry riverbeds during drought.
Not because they expect to find water on the surface, but because underground.
Where the old river once flowed, moisture can survive long after the surface has dried. The scent is different here. Faint, but different. The mother slows her steps. Her mouth opens slightly, not to call out, to taste the air.
Deep inside the roof of her mouth is something humans do not have: the Jacobson's organ. A second sense system that captures molecules from the air, sending them directly to the brain.
She holds still for a moment, reading the darkness in a way no human could. There is something on the wind. Faint, distant, but real.
She turns slightly, adjusting her direction, following something invisible.
Something only she can detect.
Large impressions are pressed into the hardened earth. Wide, deep, already weeks old. Elephant tracks, dried into the cracked mud, but still readable, still pointing somewhere.
They carry knowledge passed down across generations. They know where water still exists. They know which riverbeds hold moisture beneath the surface. The pride that left before her likely followed these same tracks. Now, the mother is following them, alone, one cub at a time.
She sets the second cub down beside the first, just before the sky begins to lighten. Both cubs press together immediately. The mother lies down beside them. The dry riverbed stretches into the distance. Still no water, still no sound of anything alive. Beyond what the three of them carry. But the scent on the wind is still there. Faint, distant, real. Whatever is ahead,
is still ahead. The mother closes her eyes for the first time in hours. Not fully, never fully. But enough. Because tomorrow night, she will need everything she has left. And the night after that, the third day arrives. And something is different about the way the mother moves now. Not in her attention. Her eyes still scan everything around her cubs. But in the small things. The way she lowers herself to the ground takes a little longer than it did 2 days ago. The way she stays still after lying down. As if the ground itself is lending her strength. 3 nights of walking had begun to take their toll. The cubs come to nurse not long after sunrise. They press close as they always do. Searching, pulling. The mother lies still and lets them. But the milk is less than it was 3 days ago. The cubs feed longer than before. Pull harder. When they finally pull away, they are still hungry. They come back again, then again. Days without water are beginning to catch up with her. Her body is giving the cubs everything it has left. One of the cubs begins to cry, a small sound, soft. But out here, in the open drought, even a small sound carries farther than it should. The mother responds immediately. She pulls the cub gently against her stomach. The cub quiets, but only for a moment. Hunger never stays quiet for long. A crying cub can draw attention that the mother cannot afford. She keeps both cubs pressed close for the rest of the day. The hours pass slowly beneath the heat. The dry riverbed stretches endlessly ahead. Out here, in the open, the mother watches everything. Vultures circle slowly in the far distance. Something has already died out there. Something that could not survive what this land has become. Closer, a pair of hyenas move through the dry grass half a kilometer away. Then the hyenas continue walking in a different direction. As long as she is beside her cubs, the danger stays at a distance. The real danger begins when the mother has to leave, when the cubs are alone in the grass.